Good Sunday afternoon. This is a really quick update regarding Canaan. So here we are with these amazing news releases. We see the share price of Canaan skyrocketing. It's doing really well. And then all of a sudden, a trade dispute that has been ongoing between the United States and China reignites in a really major way on Friday, sending financial markets across the board into the shitter, for lack of a more artful way of describing it. The price of Bitcoin took an absolute beating. Ethereum took a beating. Everything has taken a beating. So here we are now. There are 2 more trading days, Monday and Tuesday of this week. If Canaan can close above $1 a share, it comes back into listing requirement. It comes back into compliance with listing requirements on NASDAQ. Now, if that were to not happen, then okay. Hey, and then November 10th rolls around, the company can apply for another 180-day grace period in which to bring the share price back into compliance. So, this is sort of uncharted territory. We were on this amazing trajectory. Things were going so incredibly well. The news out of Canaan, absolutely positive. And then we get blindsided by what took place on Friday. Okay, this is the way life works out sometimes. So what are we going to do about it? Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do about it. On Monday, I'm going to just watch what happens. There is a reasonable chance that the executives at Canaan, in the last 5 minutes of the trading session, depending on where the share price is, they may elect, if they have any firepower left in their $30+ million repurchase, arrangement, right? That share repurchase program that they announced, they may choose to apply a lot of firepower the last couple minutes of trading just to pop the stock back up above $1 a share. The same may hold true for Tuesday. Now, if we're walking into a situation where financial markets are going to absolutely melt down because of escalating trade tensions between the United States and China, then I'm not really sure that anything's going to work, right? And that we just may find ourselves on November 10th with Canaan having to go back to NASDAQ and say, we're going to apply for another 180-day extension to see what happens next. Now, the possibility always exists that Canaan may decide to do a reverse stock split, right? We've seen this before with a variety of other companies. And, hey, it's not the most popular thing, but it is something that will cure the issue of the stock price not being at $1 per share or greater or more, right? So do I think that's going to happen? It's unclear to me if that's really the route the company will choose to take. We are so incredibly close to just getting that whole share price thing behind us, at least for the time being, right? If the share price can close at $1 or greater on Monday, same thing on Tuesday, then that's it. There have been 10 consecutive trading days where the stock has done this. Now, let me just zoom back a little bit here. The whole thing of whether or not Canaan is listed on, NASDAQ Global Markets or some other exchange, at the end of the day, my risk profile is such that I'm not necessarily hung up on that issue. I realize that from an optics perspective, yeah, it's kind of important, but ultimately what I'm really interested in is, hey, is this company solvent? Are they selling product? Are they actually generating traction in the marketplace? And all of the news that we've gotten over the past couple of weeks strongly suggests to me that this is a company that's on the right track. Okay, let's just leave the stock price aside for a moment. If we can, it's hard, right? But if we can just kind of forget for a moment escalating trade tensions between the United States and China and just focus on the core business of what Canaan does, right? Which is to ostensibly make the very best Bitcoin mining machines on planet Earth, to sell those Bitcoin mining machines, not just to industrial Bitcoin miners, but also to home miners, right? Because there's a whole home mining division that they've got. They also utilize their own machines to do self-mining, and the business has grown tremendously, right? Almost nearly 10 exahash of self-mining Bitcoin capacity. And, then finally, they've got this amazing treasury of Bitcoin and Ethereum, it appears like now. So, when I look at this business, I don't look at a business and I say, oh my gosh, they're on the brink of bankruptcy. They just announced one of the largest orders, in their last 3-year history, just a week ago or so, 50,000+ Bitcoin mining machines. That's tremendous. This is a company that from just a pure fundamental perspective seems to be doing everything right. all of this trade bullshit, and it is bullshit. It's such a pain in the neck, isn't it? I wish both countries could just get together, figure shit out, make things fair, fair for both sides. Let's just do free trade, man. Let's really do free trade, okay? Let's just try to get along and let's let the economy work. But instead, we've got this back and forth, and it is what it is. We can't really control that. Canaan certainly can't control that. Now, there's a good chance we may hear from Canaan on Monday, right? Hey, maybe they're going to come out with a news release trying to explain hey, how are they affected by all this? The reality is nobody really knows yet what's going to take effect on November 1st or not. What's going to take effect on October 14th or not. Things just seem to be in flux. We've been there before earlier in the year, and you may remember financial markets were just absolutely upside down. Things were really, really bad. So it could be that we're setting up for yet another spell of bad markets, right? Where things are just kind of sloshing around, going down. There's no real clarity, right? There's a lot of uncertainty, and there's a lot of doubt, and there's a lot of fear about what's happening on this trade front and how it's going to impact companies across the board. So that's kind of where we're at. Things were going so incredibly well. We were on this amazing trajectory, not just with the business, but with the stock price. And then all this BS on Friday just blew things up. I'm cautiously optimistic that things will kind of slowly but surely get back on track. I've got the risk profile that's such, which, hey, this doesn't really bother me, but I recognize that you may be sitting there saying holy crap, man, what the hell is going to happen here? Is this company going to just vanish? What's happening? Hey, all I can tell you is, look, I have faith that Canaan is not going to vanish, okay? If you look at their news releases, okay, you look at their financials, I don't get the impression this is a company that's about to vanish, all right? I do think, however, that we are in store for a tremendous amount of volatility in the stock market. And if that's something you can't stomach, then, hey, you may have to pull the ejection cord and bail out, right? If it's something you just can't handle. I can handle it. I'm willing to just kind of face it head on, take it a day at a time, and just see how this transpires, because ultimately things will, I believe, get better at some point, right? And that's maybe you could say, oh man, you're being overly optimistic, but think about it. They have generally always gotten better, right? So the dust is still up in the air. We got to let the dust settle, and hopefully things will start to become clearer, and hopefully things can slowly but surely start to get back on track. Okay, my friend, let's stay positive. Let's be great. And we will definitely see each other again later this week.